Hey, it's me, your boy, Basic Burger Boy. And if it's your first time, welcome. And sorry, but this video is different compared to the last one half a year ago. Damn, it's been so long. Today, I'm going to yap away while I'm high and functional under the influence of coffee and some of my ADHD meds to vent my current predicament. I just have this overwhelming urge to let you guys know what's up, and if someone is going through the same or has gone through something similar, at least they could share their experience. Now, I'm in a very stable mode right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a meltdown after this again. Oh my god. You see, I don't know what to do. I mean, who does? But have you ever been in a situation where a wrong turn spells disaster? Where failure is not actually an option? That you have to be ruthless, but dumb me can't tell the difference between ruthless and shameless. That's how deep I feel I am inside the rabbit hole of indecisiveness. Right now, I am as deadpan as an egg slowly being boiled by procrastination and the inevitability of life. Analysis paralysis maybe, or sheer denial. I know I'm in trouble, and with me comes my partner, my family, and my hungry and fat pets, and everything else. So what happened and what pushed me off? I suddenly lost 2 jobs due to a severe case of burnout, having worked night shift with little boundaries and in some cases, 15 hours at a time. At the end of it, I just grew tired of creating things for people that kept shitting on my ideas, and then I bumped into a destructive question. Destructive as in not very good for productivity. All these skills and creative experiments, as they call my ADHD-esque habit, what if I just do them for myself? What if I become my own business owner? What if I just give YouTube a shot for once with uninhibited creative energy? If I am as creative as I think, shush, imposter syndrome, intrusive thoughts. Ugh. I asked that question too soon, okay? And before I knew it, I was performing less optimally, missing deadlines sometimes. The ADHD got worse, coupled by grief-driven depression, debuffs, and all that jazz. It didn't help that the conditions I worked in, the systems they had in place, is the least ADHD-friendly thing I encountered so far. It included gray area processes, no clear scope and limitation of when to be intuitive and when to just do what I am told, so many buttons, tags, idiosyncrasies, and more. And if you have ADHD, you know we want things done as fast as possible without the slow, tedious sugarcoats in the typical corporate setup. A huge part of me thinks I am all to blame, but I also felt like I got thrown under the bus because I couldn't cope with a neurotypical setup because I am just badly jaded. They know I struggled but kept at their own way because who am I, right? I can't expect a business to adjust to my inadequacies. Now, these jobs contributed to why there wasn't a follow-up on my previous video half a year ago. The sheer number of things hanging in the balance of me having a job also made it harder for me to create too. We'll get to details in a bit. It kept things stable for the status quo, but it wore me out and kept eating me from the inside, damage over time. And now I'm here. By the time I am free, I am drained. By the time I am inspired, I am incredibly busy. By the time I'm inspired and have some energy, I have errands. One does not simply reorient between things. There's no silver lining in real life, I guess. The real world sadly doesn't give you any considerations if you're mentally ill as much as we'd like it. When someone underperforms, they usually just conclude they're underperforming instead of asking a simple 3-word, "Are you okay?" or "How are you?" Now, I'm not saying I'm free of any responsibility. While my mental health is out of my full control, partially, it still is. When everything snowballed down into a traumatic sequence of events filled with freeze reactions, heated engagements, and borderline passive-aggressive meetings, no one gave me a break, and they knew I was having a tilted streak. All of a sudden, in classic corporate fashion, everything you did well is thrown back to the back burner to make way for only the bad times. But I can't really blame them. Everyone is so warped within their own circumstances. It's tragic. Now all I have is savings that can last me 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. After that, I might as well swim in debt. But here's an update. I was going to record this thing 2 months ago, and now I don't have savings. I have debts. and I got into another likely low-paying job just to stay afloat. On top of that, I have 2 adopted cats, one of which is a glutton, a memory of not being able to adopt a 3rd stray kitten because finances. I have a supportive partner with her own job, but she's incredibly burnt out and her family needs her to earn more because circumstances I cannot discuss. A soon retiring parent. I have siblings that are still figuring themselves out around the waves of grief in our family. I have a lot of abandoned hobbies like music and photography, among other things. I have ADHD. I have medications that are running low on supply because the only legal ADHD medication here is the pricey one. I have this YouTube channel as well with a few subscribers, but with a video that kind of did well. I think I'm referring to the Phasmophobia video I did half a year ago. I also have an out-of-control perfectionism getting in the way, a terabyte of not-so-good video quality recordings for a modded 7 Days to Die series, which I sadly had to let go because I could no longer afford Dropbox storage. I also have a lot of old footage of Apex Legends highlights back when I still loved the game. I had a short stint with Clash of Clans, but this was replaced by my rabbit holing session with Path of Exile. This perfectionistic tendency has led to 4 abandoned Let's Play recording attempts, each almost a terabyte in size, that I deleted because I recorded too much, or something was off, or I couldn't find it in myself to edit all of that in bulk. I also have this idea that most of the people I had fun with have moved on and are no longer available. I also have an aging PC I got during the pandemic for content creation purposes, which I still haven't utilized, and it's almost dying. I recently also got a job that pays half of what I used to earn in a field I might be somewhat good in. I also have this nagging imposter syndrome and trauma voice recounting my last burnout, so I'm not really feeling safe around my job or the future in general. And the summative crossroads. Lastly, I apologize for the long yapping session. Now, the summative crossroads this video is about, which is which poison do I pick? It's not like I can just choose. In my case, I think it's consequential. Either way, I'm gonna take a hit, unless I gamble. Do I apply for another creativity burning job where I have experience on top of the other one so that I can pay the bills that help sustain me, my household, my grieving family, the 5 adorable family pets we have overall, even if it drains me to the point of not being able to create anything for this YouTube channel and risk being a possible danger to myself? You might want to replay that. That's a pretty long question. That helps everyone, but it gives me a lot of damage over time, like I said. Or do I hyper-focus on driving out content and letting all that excess ADHD creativity and energy just let it out for the next 2 weeks, risking a life of debt, no medications, more things falling apart, a more unstable future, and more? I don't even want to think about it. No overthinking, just dishing out whatever game I have footage of, streaming games I enjoy, and maybe creating something great and overcome my imposter syndrome. One thing to know about me is I'm a pathological burden bearer. Saying this hurts. I tend to sacrifice myself too much to help others out, even in cooperative games. But I also know that burnouts, the severe bottom of the boiling well ones, are dangerous. These days, unfortunately, failure is actually a privilege. Some can afford to fail, some others, if not most, can't. Even pondering this thought is privilege. Some cannot even verbalize the way I am now, and I'm glad I have a medium. Failure means game over for me and the people around me, unfortunately. Sure, I can still make some mistakes, but we're talking big turns here in a span of 2 to 3 weeks. And that was supposed to be 2 months ago. And what frustrates me is that my ADHD, after being diagnosed quite recently, predisposes me to an unstable life. A life that would have been a lot simpler if I caught onto it early. I'm basically dealing with the consequences of having ADHD for so long and having it undiagnosed and unaddressed for so long that I don't know where to start stopping this avalanche of consequences. Sometimes knowledge is painful, especially if you're not exactly young anymore. The meds help, of course, but they just don't fix everything. And they're really pricey. I don't think I'm going to be buying them anytime soon. So there's that. And to think, I have really shallow goals. I don't want to be a millionaire even. I just want a small, compact home that I can clean, cook in, have a few guests in, and house three to four pets. That's a decent lot. 1 to 2 bedroom, no need for a living room, good kitchen. There's Netflix now. I want to be able to adopt another cat or dog because of the stray problem in my community. I want to eventually get a small car so I can travel. I yearn to see my sister stabilize and build a system of support around her. I want to get back to music or photography or whatever hobby I abandoned before. I want to create memories with people in games and be helpful to the people of my life as a result. I want to be in a position to help without overextending myself. I want to start some sort of food business because I like to cook, but all these things, it's not really too much to ask. In the end, it boils down to what am I willing to sacrifice? Can I afford to make those sacrifices? And then there's the question of how ruthless should I be? I see a lot of content creators get ruthless. I have a sense of shame that tells me I shouldn't use my pets or play the sympathy card, thus I cringe writing this down, but I am desperate. So yeah, I don't care. How about you? Have you ever met this crossroad after a burnout? How did you get out of it? Please help a brother out. Now I'm spent on caffeine. This is not the usual content of my channel, but I will try to post the usual when I can. Hopefully more Phasmophobia videos and Let's Plays finally. I'll wait for your insights, friends. I'm still on the fence if I'm posting other games here or something, or that's my perfectionism sweating things out unnecessarily again. Thank you for your time and stay spicy. Burger out.